The top story that we are getting you tonight. This is a story that we first highlighted about a few days ago about the situation in Mizoram border. Around 5,000 Myanmar nationals have taken shelter. This is in Zokhawthar area in Mizoram's Champhai district. Now, thousands are fleeing Myanmar following a fresh airstrike by Myanmar army in the bordering area along Indo-Myanmar border. Now, the district administration, NGOs, Young Mizo Association, Village Council have all provided food, clothes, medicines to the Myanmari refugees who are now taking shelter in the makeshift tents in Zokhawthar area. And as the fighting basically continues to rage on, as Myanmar's military rulers have ordered all government staff and those with military experience to prepare to serve in case of emergency following the fresh airstrikes. A story that we first reported on Monday when the initial gunfight began roughly on Sunday late night. In fact, bombings have also been reported across the border. This is after the rebel group and the army were at loggerheads, resulting in a refugee crisis situation in the state of Mizoram. Take a look at this report filed by my colleague Anirudh, and then we get you the latest details.
3 years after military took over power in Myanmar, an alliance of Myanmar ethnic armed groups has launched a lightning offensive. The alliance launched its offensive, unprecedented in its scale and coordination, on October 27th. And so far claims to have captured several towns and cities and overrun more than 100 army bases. And the situation has led to a massive refugee crisis in Mizoram. Following the fresh airstrikes by Myanmar army in the areas along the Indo-Myanmar border, thousands have been forced to flee Myanmar amid the heavy fighting. As per the latest information, around 5,000 Myanmar nationals are taking shelter in Zokhawthar area in Mizoram's Champhai district.
I think they are all villagers, Myanmar side. They are coming to this side, Mizoram, India. Around 5,000 to 6,000 maybe.
These refugees are now taking shelter in makeshift tents. According to Young Mizo Association, there are around 4 to 5 refugee camps in Zokhawthar.
In the village we stay is all the same. We are like no house. Everybody no house. They all burned already. So even everything, the clothes, all no, we cannot take because very far from India. We stay, so it's nothing. We stay like nothing.
The district administration in Mizoram, along with NGOs, Young Mizo Association, Village Council, have provided food, clothes, medicine to these Myanmar refugees.
Here, some NGO provided some food and some clothes. And from this village, we call that VLMCR, those who control the refugee people. Whatever they need, they just give them. Like sirpolin, clothes, food, and everything what they need now.
The internal conflict of Myanmar has posed a major refugee challenge in Mizoram, forcing the state to deploy more forces and increase the vigil. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, this recent influx has resulted in a refugee crisis in the state of Mizoram. As we report this story, the only national news network to put the focus, the spotlight on the current situation. In fact, as we speak right now, there have been some latest developments which we're going to put out in a short while from now. I know that we're given to understand arrests have been made, roughly about 40 arrests, 42 people have been arrested is what we're being told, with military affiliation is what we are picking up. 42 Myanmar military personnel have been arrested by Mizoram police. A confirmation essentially now coming in. We are being told this is a confirmation coming in from the Mizoram Inspector General of Police. They have confirmed that 42 arrests have been made. The arrest, in fact, was made on Monday, but thereafter, the action that has also been taken, they have been taken into custody from different locations in Mizoram, including about 16 personnel who were sheltering in a hut is what details that are emerging. They've been handed over to Assam Rifle, the central force that is responsible for the security at the border. In fact, you were reporting on Monday that leaves have also been cancelled of Assam Rifle personnel. Give us more details with regards to the latest arrests that have been made.
Yes, Avan, this arrests were made on Monday when actually after the airstrike that was carried out, the rebel forces, which are pro-democratic forces or a Seenland Defense Force, they ambushed several camps of the Myanmar junta army in different locations at the Seen state of Myanmar. And following that, many army personnel of Myanmar also fled towards India in order to save themselves from the aggressive aggression of the rebels who were on a defensive mode after the airstrike was carried out. And it was at that point in time that the 42 army personnel of the Myanmar army, they came to the Zokhawthar police station and they literally surrendered to the police, seeking safe custody from the rebels. However, it is also being said that the army personnel were actually hunting down the rebels close to the border, and they unknowingly entered the Indian border because there is no proper demarcation of the border as far as the Indo-Myanmar border in Mizoram is concerned. There is no proper demarcation or fencing, and that is why when they crossed over to India, they were then arrested by the Mizoram police. This is what the person of the Mizoram police is. But later, they were also handed over to the Assam Rifles. There were two officers of the Myanmar army who were accompanying the 40 other army personnel of the Myanmar army, and they were handed over to the Assam Rifles in Champhai district, and from Champhai district in Mi-17 helicopters. Through Mi-17 helicopters, they were flown to More, and then from More they were sent to Tamo. Tamo is the town close to the Indo-Myanmar border, town of More in Manipur, and they were handed over to the Myanmar army in Tamo. This is what we have got to know. Meanwhile, as we have already said, and we have already shown how many refugees are still coming in from Myanmar to India. More than 5,000 refugees have come over in the last 2-3 days, and we are also getting to know that more than 500 to 600 are still there along the border. They're looking for a chance to cross over to the border because, after the incident that took place on Monday when the army personnel from Myanmar also crossed over to the Indian border, after that, specifically along the border, all across Mizoram as well as Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh, even all along the Indo-Myanmar border, tight vigil has been kept by the Assam Rifles, who actually keeps control of the Indo-Myanmar border. And we are getting to know that the Manipur government in particular, the state government of Manipur, has also returned to center in regards to the crisis that is emerging in the state of, in the neighboring country of Myanmar, Sawan.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Anirudh, for getting us the latest details. The situation still remains quite volatile. In fact, the Ministry of External Affairs has also reacted to the current situation, a story that we'll be tracking very closely. That's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. On the other side, news and updates continue.